My name is Ty Mans. I am the co-founder of Mans Mackey Productions, and we are the production company and producers on the film. So I met Domingo, I want to say 8, 9 years ago. We were at a film festival in Gary, Indiana together. It was quite an event. And we just started talking and found out that we both had this passion for filmmaking, passion for production, passion for faith-based films. And we stayed in touch, and he approached me with this project a few years back, and I started kind of tweaking the script with him, working on a few things with him, and here we are today. Yeah, Mans Mackey Studios is the parent company of Mans Mackey Productions, so we work mainly on family and faith-based films. We don't really do many other genres. We help produce other films for people who are in those two genres, but our bread and butter and where we like the space that we like to operate in is the family, faith-based comedy. As long, again, if it's a comedy, as long as it's a family comedy or faith-based comedy. I've worked on a bunch of films throughout my time, and there are a lot of films being made out there every year. But there aren't a lot of films being made where you can sit down with your entire family from grandparent to grandchild together and watch movies. And there aren't a lot of those films being made with people of color in them. So, for me as a writer, I always wanted to write films that could feature people of color in lead roles. And so now when I write, I do that. I enjoy the faith-based, the family genre because I have kids, although my boys are grown now. But we raised boys where we wanted to sit together and watch movies with them. And oftentimes there wasn't anything that we could watch because there was gratuitous sex or gratuitous violence or whatever. So it's a personal preference. I don't begrudge or I don't indict anyone who don't do what I'm doing and what others like me are doing. But it's just a personal preference, the type of movies I want to write and I want to produce. The favorite part for me of the script right now is the involvement of the young talent who is playing the lead, who will play the lead in the role, in the journey that character will go through. This whole hip-hop vibe, so to speak. And I think that's what's pretty cool and exciting about this project, and that if people gravitate toward that, that's why I said earlier that young and old will enjoy this. My primary role will be one, producing. So I will be helping Domingo on the production side of it, on the producing side. And that can encompass a whole bunch of things. And then our company, Mans Mackey Productions, we will be serving as the production company, meaning we will be hiring all of his crew. We'll help him with casting the film. He'll tell us who we want cast. Our legal team will go out and do the casting for him. It will be a film that the culture will embrace. I don't know what the impact is. It's hard for me to predict stuff like that. But I think because of the whole hip-hop feel of the film, because of the religious content and the historical content of the film, I think it will be embraced well. And where the impact comes from that, it's hard to tell. I will say that I think this is a film that people will be talking about for years and years and years. And that's somewhat of an impact, I would imagine, because it's a conversational piece. So what are some of the stages I've seen Domingo go through with this project? Well, I think it was a short story when I first met him. And there was no feature script at the time, and he said, "Hey, look, I really want to write this feature script." And I think at that time I was working on my film called A Question of Faith that we were getting produced. So I remember telling him, "Hey, I would love to help you, but I can't help you write it right now because of what we have going on." But he did. He hired somebody. They wrote the script, and he sent it to me like a year or so later. I helped him do some rewrites on the script, and he went back and he went and got what we call coverage on the script, which means he had some professional eyes look at it, and they came back, gave notes. And so this script has It's probably gone through at least 6 or 7 rewrites up to this point. But I can respect that because what that means is he's trying to make sure he get it right. He wants to get this script right. And being a writer myself, I can appreciate that because I told him this years ago. I told Domingo this years ago. I said, anybody can write a movie script. Anybody can. All you have to do is get a word processor or a typewriter and fade in, and 100 pages later fade out. But not everybody can tell a story. Not everybody can tell a story. So screenplay writers in this industry have hobbies, is the way I see it. Storytellers have careers. And I appreciate him trying to get to the storytelling part. He's just not trying to write a script. He wants to tell a story. And that part I can appreciate more than anything. The process of making this film, how is it different from other films we produced? Up to this date, hardly anything, because first you have to write the story, right? And there are no time limits on writing the story. Of course, unless you've been commissioned by someone to say, hey, I want you to write this story and you have this much time. But he didn't have that. So he didn't have to rush through it. He didn't have to drive and meet certain dates. I just wrote a story for a client out of Chicago, and I had a deadline. So I'm sitting there trying to do other things in the production company, but I'm trying to meet the deadline. Well, he didn't have that. So the process right now, it's been the same. It's just been longer because he took his time to write the script. Now we're moving into another phase. We're getting ready to head into the pre-production phases of this film, and then on into principal. So when that happens, everything will just start falling in line again. It'll just be what we do to get any film off the ground and produced and out there for the public to see. I resonate with this project because I was there to see it, in the genesis phase of it, when it was a short story, and he was winning. Domingo was winning screenplay contests and placing in other events with it. And just again, it goes back to when you see someone with so much passion, someone who wants to get something done and invest time, his energy, and Domingo's a married man, so he invested his time, his family's time in there. You just want to be a part of that, and you want to help them any way that you can. And Domingo calls me, and sometimes in the craziest times, hey brother, can I talk to you? And I try to, no matter what, I always say in this world, you should always have 10 or 15 minutes for somebody, no matter how busy you are. You should always have 10, 15 minutes for somebody. And when he's called over the years, I've always tried to make sure that I got 10 minutes, brother, what do you need? Or I got 15 minutes. Or if you can call me back tomorrow, I got you. We'll talk an hour and a half. And he's always been that guy that's been patient. And he's done those things. And I just want to help him the best that I can. It's the best as Mans Mackey Productions can. Bishop Mackey, my business partner, we just want to move this project down the line for him the best we can. What's the best part of this journey so far for me is just getting to know Domingo. I'll be honest with you. When we met at that film festival years ago, we were just two cats sitting there having a conversation. It was, I think it was only 2 or 3 of us that made the finals in that festival, and it's a guy that's hard not to like. He comes across so genuine. He's a humble person, and we just started talking, and now 8, 9 years later, the friendship is even stronger. So the best part of me so far, of this project so far, is just the friendship that's grown out of this with him. And now we get to make a movie together, something that we talked about 8, 9 years ago. So here we go.